There's a ticking time bomb waiting to happen in the permanent makeup industry. The seeds of bad lip pigment decisions have already been sown and are out there, waiting to come back as this, and no one is talking about it. But after performing thousands of lip blush treatments and working with the leading experts in pigment manufacturing, it's time someone did. So in this video, I'm going to explain how these shocking results happen and how you can avoid making lips that look like this forever, because this damage is irreversible. This information is so important that not knowing it can not only ruin your lip blush results, but even your entire business. So how did these unfortunate lips happen? And is it something you're doing? Well, first we need to look at lip blush pigment ingredients and how they work in the skin. Understanding the colorants in your pigments is the surefire way to predict your long-term healed results and avoid lip blush disasters. Pigments are made up of powdered colorants suspended in liquid and are often split into organic and inorganic pigments. Now, this has nothing to do with someone mushing up fruits and vegetables. Organic or inorganic are all produced in factories and decided by how the hydrogen bonds in the molecular structure. You don't need to know all that. You just need to know that organic pigments tend to be more vibrant and easier to implant, and inorganic tend to be more muted colours that take longer to implant. But here's the thing, there's one colorant that causes all those Franken lips, and it can't be removed by laser or saline. If you try and cover it, it will just resurface again. So it's crucial you pay close attention to it. Let's imagine we have some plutonium. If we harness the power of it properly, we can light up a whole town. But if we mishandle it, well, this colorant is just as powerful and dangerous if used incorrectly. It's used in cosmetics, makeup and sunscreen, and it's in a lot of lip blush pigments because it makes them really opaque. It provides amazing coverage, so it's really useful to neutralize darker lips, and artists love it because they can see big results in their lip blush fast. So it reduces time spent performing the treatment, and there's less swelling and trauma to the lips.
Well, he sounds like a swell guy. What's your beef?
To explain how this is going to lead to the horrific cases you saw, we need to look at what happens to the colorants in the pigment long term. Take a look at this bottle. This is a world famous body tattoo pigment designed to tattoo areola back onto breast cancer patients. We want those pigments to be really opaque, but look at what's happened to it as it's been left to stand. And this is the ingredient I'm talking about, titanium dioxide. It's sunk to the bottom due to its weight. Now, if this happens in the bottle, what do you think is happening in the body? Well, it does the same thing, it separates. And as the titanium is such a foreign object in the body, it pushes that titanium dioxide right to the surface. And that's what we're seeing in those pictures. Get this wrong and the results are forever. Now, I could understand if you think that this won't affect you because I'm talking about body tattoo pigment. But firstly, this applies to many permanent makeup pigments that have titanium levels between 60 and 80%. And there's also a huge swing towards using body tattoo pigments on lips. Some of these can have up to 95% titanium dioxide. So if you've been using some of these, then the Franken lip check's possibly already in the mail. So how do you know what's in your lip pigment and whether you're heading for these disastrous long-term lip results? It's there for all to see on the bottle. What you're looking for is these numbers on the side that begin with a CI. Each colorant has its own CI number. You can easily Google the number to see what each color is, and the CI number for titanium dioxide is 77891. And if that's the first CI number listed, it's usually the greatest amount. But the problem could be that one pigment has 95% titanium dioxide and another has 30%, and it's still the greatest amount of colorant. Pigment manufacturers won't give their recipe away because that's their intellectual property. So how are you supposed to know? You really need to know the potency of your pigments. So to see how much titanium dioxide is in it, you need to measure the opacity, how much it can cover. Titanium is one of the only particles that can cover dark colours, which is why it's so useful for lip neutralizations and coverage. It's also very important to know the pigment load of what you're working with. Is 20% titanium 20% of 100 grams or 20% of 10 grams and a load of water? Are you going to be loading someone's lips with a huge amount of colourant or working for ages trying to get some colour in? Take a blank piece of paper with a black section. There's one ready made for you to print in the description. Blob some pigment on the paper and with a damp Q-tip, draw it down over the dark section and let it dry. You'll be able to compare the opacity of your pigments. I'm going to start with a low titanium pigment from Enhance and draw it down over this black stripe. And we can see that it colours over it, but the coverage isn't too chalky. And then secondly, I have a really high pigment load pink. This is from Skills, but again, it's low titanium. So this is going to have a similar effect when we draw it down. So while this will implant a lot of colour quickly, the results shouldn't be too chalky. And now a body tattoo pigment with high titanium, and you can really see how well it covers the black stripe. And as it dries, you can see more and more of that titanium. Too much of this in the lips and you're in chalky territory. So if this is starting to worry you, what options do you have? Firstly, knowing exactly what you're using will make a huge difference to the decisions that you make and understanding the long-term heals. The second option is to dilute your colours more. And the third option is just simply to switch up your pigments that you use for ones with less titanium dioxide. Here are a couple of brands that I love. These Skills pigments are very low in titanium dioxide. They're a very high pigment load, REACH compliant pigment, so implant a lot of colour in a very short amount of time and give incredible healed results. And if you want a lighter pigment but want to know exactly how much white is in it, then Skills comes with a white that is nearly all titanium dioxide but puts you in control of knowing how much is going into the client. What if you want to neutralise a client's lips but you don't want to overload them with titanium? Well, that's where world leader Carla Ricciardone's pigment lines Enhance and Embody can help. The Enhance line is her pigment range designed for lip blush, and Embody is the neutralization range designed to work alongside it.
So Enhance and Embody were created to give control back to the artist. You know, for so long we were choosing lip pigment colors in the bottle to match just lipstick shades. We started to notice that one, they weren't coming back the way we wanted to. You know, things like chalky results were something that when Enhance and Embody were created, we wanted to really change. I spent 4 years working in collaboration with Permablend to create, so that way the artist had full control. I wanted you to be able to mix your colors without having to have any type of clashing. Let's call it that, you know, where you potentially are using 80% titanium dioxide in 3 of the pigments that you're mixing together to get the color you want. So Enhance and Embody were born. They have low titanium dioxide. Even in the modifiers in the Embody collection, they are quite low. Lots of tattoo inks have like 80+% titanium dioxide, where, you know, in the Enhance collection, nothing is over 20%. Even permanent makeup pigments, they have 60 to 80+% titanium dioxide. I wanted to make sure you guys were in full control, so that way when you mix the color for your client, whether it be a vibrant color or a more of a mauve or earthy tone, or something in the middle, that you as the artist have the control to do that. So enjoy them.
It's worth remembering that titanium dioxide is not bad, it's just powerful and very long lasting. So it's your responsibility as an artist to know exactly what you're tattooing into your clients and the implications of it. And no matter what pigment you're using, you'll still give someone terrible results if you don't know how to implant it properly. Lip tissue differs so much from the other skin on your face, so getting the right technique is the next crucial step to getting great lips, happy clients, and perfect results. So make sure you're implanting properly. Watch this step-by-step tutorial on how to create a perfect lip blush every time. That's a wrap, boys, girls, whoever. You're all welcome here.